North Adams State College Athletic Complex in North Adams, Massachusetts. Nesson presents exclusive coverage of the 1988 United Way Fall Soccer Classic. In our first matchup, the Stony Brook Patriots will meet the Plymouth State Panthers. Hello again, everyone. I'm Scott Gray, and welcome to North Adams, Massachusetts, and the beautiful campus of North Adams State College, tucked away in the green hills of northwestern Massachusetts. A pastoral setting for college soccer action. The conditions are just ideal for soccer action today. And joining me again on today's telecast, our color commentator and former All-New England performer out of Boston University, Gary Swanson. And Gary, based on the first day action, today being the second day of the tournament, it looks like the teams that were expected to win did.
Well, Plymouth State looked like the team's most strongest team. They added a 6-2 win over MIT. They were very impressive. They moved the ball very quickly. North Adams State used high pressure to defeat Stony Brook 2-1.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the players that will figure prominently in today's first game. And let's go to goal first. A very big man in goal for Stony Brook, and I say big.
John Aldack. He's 6'6". He's an All-American candidate. Looked very impressive yesterday. Very good distribution.
Okay, and a couple of co-captains who will figure prominently at the midfield.
Charlie Matos scored 7 goals and 5 assists last year, and he looked impressive yesterday. Very poised. Finished a brilliant goal yesterday.
And a senior back.
Senior back, Rob Kissel, number 3. Very impressive. He anchors the defense, and he controls the ball well.
Okay, let's take a look at Plymouth State and some of the key performers there. And first, let's take a look at Antonio Luongo. Maybe a problem there.
He suffered an injury yesterday to the left leg, a contusion. He's a very impressive player. At one point yesterday, dribbled by 4 MIT defenders. He has the ability to create good scoring opportunities.
Okay, and Luongo is a senior midfielder. Let's move back to the back position where a junior will be a big gun.
John Roberts, number 4. He's an All-American from London, England. A very impressive player. Tackles extremely hard, and he also can attack as well. He scored 7 goals and added 2 assists last year.
And in goal for Plymouth State, a junior.
Kip Griffin, he's a fine player. It's his first year as a starter. Last year he only played 1 game. He looked good yesterday.
Okay, so we have the first of the 2 matchups on the final day coming up today. This is the United Way Fall Soccer Classic in North Adams, Massachusetts. And certainly we want to thank the United Way not only for sponsoring the Fall Soccer Classic, but also for helping Nesson get here to bring you the action today. And we'll be back with the opening kickoff of today's first game right after these messages.
North Adams State College in the Berkshire Hills of western Massachusetts is a fully accredited college offering strong liberal arts and professional degree programs. It offers the 2,100 students close contact with the faculty, a wide range of varsity and intramural sports, and exciting extracurricular activities.
Giving, it says you care, doesn't it?
It's the feeling in your heart on the best day of your life.
It means that somewhere, someone's life is better.
Because of you.
You know what your dad used to say?
If we don't give, who will?
The nicest thing about giving
isn't what it does
for others. It's what it does
for you.
The United Way.
Thanks to you,
it works for all of us.
There's a place for all seasons, and it's just around the bend, full of beauty and laughter to share with a friend. There's music of summer fills the star-studded sky, while a symphony of color helps the autumn pass by. It's the spirit called the Berkshires, a place we call home. Come visit our Berkshires and then make them your own. Come visit our Berkshires and then make them your own.
Welcome back to North Adams State College at North Adams, Massachusetts. We are getting ready for the start of the first game of the final day of the North Adams State United Way Soccer Tournament. And in the first contest today, it'll be Plymouth State taking on Stony Brook. Starting at forward for Stony Brook today, number 9, Scott Eckstein, number 7, Matt Malone, and number 11, Kevin Luby. The midfielders will be number 6, Chris Valino, number 8, Charlie Matos, and number 4, Kevin Quigley. At the backfield position, number 21, Tom Haluske, number 3, Rob Kissel, number 23, Rob Bloom, and number 10, Dennis McGovern. And in goal for Stony Brook, John Oldak. Now for Plymouth State, the forwards, 2 of them, number 22, Dan Quinlan, number 21, James Poore. At the midfield position, number 10, Sean Murphy, number 25, Chris Wilkins, number 12, Tony Luongo, and number 17, Norman Sherwood. The backfield for Plymouth State, number 4, John Roberts, number 18, Chris Buckley, number 11, Daniel Kilday, and number 19, Stephen Town. And in goal, number 1, Kip Griffin. And now let's take a look at the officials for today's matchup. Our referee will be Dilvo Di Placido. Our linesmen will be Jim Healy and Tony Romano. And we'll be back with the opening kickoff of today's game between Stony Brook and Plymouth State right after these messages.
There's a clean, crisp, ice cold, Beechwood aged Budweiser with your name on it.
Giving, it says you care, doesn't it?
It's the feeling in your heart on the best day of your life.
It means that somewhere, someone's life is better.
Because of you.
You know what your dad used to say.
If we don't give, who will?
The nicest thing about giving
Isn't what it does.
for others, it's what it does
For you.
the United way.
Thanks to you,
it works for all of us.
The preceding message was sponsored by the North Adams State Alumni Association. Welcome back, everyone, and we're ready for soccer action in Game 3 of the North Plymouth State United Way Fall Soccer Classic. Stony Brook, that's actually the New York University at Stony Brook, the proper designation, taking on Plymouth State College. Plymouth State tucked away in right smack dab in the middle of the state of New Hampshire. And in today's game, in the first half, the guys from Stony Brook, the Patriots, will be wearing their red and white uniforms, and they will be moving left to right on the screen. Green and black, the colors for the Plymouth State Panthers, and we're underway. And Gary, the field is absolutely beautiful. The conditions excellent.
I think they've done quite a bit of work on the field for the tournament, Scott. It does look great.
Okay, and the first attack going for Plymouth State here on the far side. Sean Murphy with the ball, feeds it up into the area, and pretty easy save to get Kip Griffin, or I should say John Oldak, going. John Oldak, 6 feet 6 inches tall, a big keeper. The goaltender from Port Washington, New York, a junior, John Oldak, as I told you, 6 feet 6 inches tall. You like to have a big guy in net, and certainly they've got a big guy in net at Stony Brook. Stony Brook likes to play a controlled game, Gary. They like to go with the possession and work the ball upfield, so I think we can see a lot of pressure on the part of Plymouth State in this first game.
I got to agree with you there, Scott. We're not going to see too many punts by the goalkeeper. Yesterday, I was able to see them play. They kept the ball on the ground the whole game, and the goalkeeper would throw the ball to the outside backs. This played right into the hands of North Adams, who played a very high-pressure game, and they were able to defeat them 2-1.
Okay, and Plymouth State with possession now. We'll keep an early eye for you on Antonio Luongo, wearing number 12 for Plymouth State. He had a contusion, suffered a contusion in his left thigh yesterday, and his play early will determine whether or not he'll be able to stay in the game.
And Plymouth State is playing similarly to North Adams. They're putting a lot of pressure on the ball in the back. They're not letting Stony Brook bring the ball past midfield.
And that was Luongo, who just got in there and had a little bit of tussling and came away with the ball and worked it into the area. So early on, Luongo seems to be doing all right.
Yes.
And the ball goes out off of Plymouth State. It'll be a throw in for Stony Brook. Scott Eckstein with the throw. Now they turn it back to Plymouth State. Norman Sherwood throws the ball in, looking deep into the corner. He's got a man, Daniel Quinlan. Ball goes out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in.
Quinlan was quite a performer in the pregame show, Scott. He and Sean Murphy had a little Johnny Carson show there for a little while.
Put on a little Tonight Show act for us. I don't know if we taped any of that, though. Okay, Stony Brook looking for the clear and getting it. So far, all of the action has really been in Stony Brook's defensive half of the field. And the Patriots looking to get it down to the other end now. They do so, but it's in possession of the Panthers. And the first chance of any kind as the ball is cleared back to Kip Griffin, the keeper for Plymouth State out of Bedford, New Hampshire. One of our officials today, I believe, is out of Bedford, New Hampshire as well. Jim Healy, one of the linesmen in today's game, out of Bedford, New Hampshire. Gerd Lutter, the head coach at Plymouth State, what a record he has compiled. He's in his 20th year. 220, 59, and 34 overall. For those of you who do have calculators, that's a 71% winning percentage. I asked Gerd about his winning percentage before the game, and all he said was, I don't have a calculator. But it does figure out the 71%. Quite a record he's had at Plymouth State.
I'll tell you why he does so well, Scott. I talked to him yesterday after the game, and he felt his team was sluggish after a 6-2 win.
Long throw in, and you saw the height of Oldak come into play there, 6'6". He hardly even had to come up off the ground as he just went into the crowd and pulled it down, and quickly the Panthers come back. Now taken away. The Patriots try to move it the other way. Yesterday's games, by the way, were the openers for both of these teams. So Stony Brook is now 0-1. Plymouth State comes into this 1-0. Stony Brook again trying to get some action going at the other side of the field, the other side of the midfield line. Most of the sustained play so far has belonged to Plymouth State.
Here's Chris Vellino with the ball, and Sean Murphy comes on the very aggressive tackle. Vellino goes down.
And the foul was called. The action has resumed off the free kick. This is the first time that Stony Brook has actually controlled play in the Plymouth State end, and coming out to make the play, Kip Griffin. Christopher Kip Griffin, doesn't like to be called Chris. That's what he tells us anyway. So far, Gary, nothing really sustained on goal. A couple of quick shots in, easy clears so far by the keepers, as both teams really seem to be trying to make adjustments to each other's style of play. As we pointed out, it'll be a control style for Stony Brook, and Plymouth State might want to take advantage with some pressure. But so far, nobody really has established any type of game plan. And again, looking for something in front, and a clearing pass goes wide. That was really rather harmless, as the backs, as we look for Plymouth State, or excuse me, for Stony Brook, at Rob Kissel. He's a senior back out of Jericho, New York, one of the guys that they'll be relying on heavily to keep that ball away from the keeper.
I talked to head coach Jim Felix from Stony Brook yesterday. He advised me they're going to play Plymouth State straight up. They're going to try and put pressure on the ball and attack. So far, it doesn't seem to be working very well, Scott.
So far, it's been pretty much territorial advantage Plymouth State all the way. Now Plymouth State trying to set something up in front, looking to get ahead on the ball, and doing so. Number 21, James Poor, but he bats it away. Okay, now the Panthers trying to come back again, cleared away. And they'll try to set it up to midfield.
Notice how Plymouth State plays one or two touch whenever possible, Scott. This is going to be very hard for Stony Brook to stay with them defensively.
Oh, we almost saw a very bad pass back to the keeper by Harry Robinette. And we had some trouble.
Oh, boy.
Now Plymouth Stony Brook now trying to get something going again down at the other end. And the ball goes out off of the defense, and that'll be a corner kick for Stony Brook. So Stony Brook now will get a scoring opportunity. They'll get a chance to set something up. Going over to the far side, Chris Volino, he'll handle the kick. Setting up in front as we look at Jim Felix, the head coach at Stony Brook. His guys getting their first real scoring opportunity now. Jim in his second year, 9-8-1 last year, so a better than 500 season. Volino puts it up in front and immediately is cleared away off the head of Antonio Luongo. And so far, Gary, Luongo's been involved in about a half a dozen plays directly, and so far he doesn't show any ill effects of that contusion.
He's limping a little bit, Scott, but he seems to be doing okay when he gets around the ball.
Okay, the Panthers now start it from the backfield and try to move forward. A takeaway. Stony Brook now on the attack. Kevin Luby puts it up in front and right on the keeper. Kip Griffin, no problem, comes out and takes it down.
Great distribution by Kip Griffin there as well. Got the ball out to his back quickly, and he had space to take the ball all the way to midfield.
They throw in now for the Panthers. Now we'll come back the other way. And this will be Scott Eckstein on the throw-in.
No, you're right, Kip, but no need to give him a little helping hand, right?
Eckstein throws it back into the backfield where he has Tom Kaluske. Rob Kissel is tripped, and we'll have a restart from that spot. Daniel Quinlan called on the trip for Plymouth State. Plymouth State really, Gary, has been one of the more successful Division III programs, not only in this region, but also in the country. And they like to schedule Division I teams every year. They have New Hampshire on their schedule this year. They have the University of Maine on the schedule this year.
Here's a look at the foul that just occurred. Longo going in for a tackle. This clearly doesn't play the ball, takes the man down. Tough tackle there by Longo.
Going down pretty hard was Kevin Quigley. Volino feeds it out to the far side. And again, thwarted as they try to get in. Stony Brook Patriots. A couple of times they've gotten it down close to the area, once on a corner kick. But so far, the defense of the Panthers really has been stifling. They really pack it in when they get back toward their own goal. We're talking about the success of this program, and certainly the 71% winning percentage for Coach Gerd Lutter over a 20-year period would speak to that success, as now we have a yellow card being issued on the far side of the field. Dennis McGovern. Well, let's check that. That would be Sean Murphy getting the yellow card for Plymouth State. And you can see the official, the referee, Devo DiPlacido, with the yellow card tucked back in his stocking, and now we have play resuming.
That was a good move by referee DiPlacido. He doesn't want the game to get out of control. He saw 2 or 3 rough slide tackles by Plymouth State, so he decided to blow one of them, give a yellow card to hopefully put a stop to that.
Oh, and look at this, and it's called for the offside. The flag goes up immediately. Almost had a break as Norman Sherwood found a man, James Poor, open in front, but he was too open. He was way beyond the defense, and the flag went up immediately.
And here's the ball. It's going to be a through ball by Sherwood. Sherwood places the ball over the top. And here's James Poor running downfield. He's clearly 2 or 3 yards ahead of the defense. Nice call by the linesman.
Yeah, you go to the right of number 21, Tom Haluske there, and there just wasn't another Stony Brook player anywhere at that end of the field, so that was a clear offside. The linesman on the far side of the field, Tony Romano, immediately put that flag up in the air. Very quick call by Romano, leaving nothing to chance. I drove into North Adams this morning, Gary, and I was looking for the field, and I saw a guy in sweats jogging around. I thought, this must be one of the soccer players for one of the games today. I'll ask him. So I stopped and asked him for directions to the field. So once I found the field and was sure I knew where I was going, I went out to get some breakfast. And then when I came back to the field, Tony Romano, the linesman, walked up to me and said, "Didn't I give you directions to the field this morning in downtown North Adams?" That was him out jogging this morning. He'll do some jogging on the sideline today, too. We're scoreless here in the third game of the United Way Fall Soccer Classic here at North Adams State College. We have about 33.5 minutes to play in the first half. Stony Brook and Plymouth State in a scoreless tie.
That's an important factor, Bonnie Scott. The referees and linesmen do have to be in great shape.
Oh, and a shot on goal. It's cleared wide. Oh, what a shot. A nice angle shot. Very quickly taken by Charles Matos. The best shot of the game so far. Kip Griffin went down and deflected it wide.
Here's Charlie Matos. You can't give him this much space. He's the one who scored the goal yesterday for Stony Brook. It's a great driven ball across the mouth of the goal. Gives Griffin a hard time. Griffin can only parry it. And very lucky for Plymouth State, they had a defender on the back post who cleared it away.
Well, that was a very, very good deflection by Kip Griffin. Now we have our first substitution of the game. Coming off the field for Plymouth State is Daniel Quinlan. We're waiting for a second player to come off. It'll be Sean Murphy coming off, and the players going in replacing them will be Michael Cole replacing Quinlan, and now replacing Murphy is Nal Narodum. Narodum out of Jefferson, New Hampshire. Cole out of Springfield, Vermont. We look at some of the folks on hand here for today's first game. The crowd, I'm sure, is going to pick up for the second game when the home team gets into action. The second game today will pit MIT against the host North Adams State.
Nice play there by Griffin. You saw he had pressure, an attacker from Stony Brook right in front of him. He opted to punch the ball wide, high and wide. That's what you like to see in the goalkeepers.
Okay, and this went out over the sideline just before getting to the goal line, so we have a throw-in for Stony Brook. Controlling the ball for Stony Brook, Rob Blum. And the ball cleared out long and over the sideline, so it'll be a throw-in now. We look at the scoreboard and the clock telling us exactly what's going on in this scoreless tie. This is first half action, 31 minutes to play in the first half. I think the longer this goes scoreless, Gary, I think the better Stony Brook has to feel about their chances, because Plymouth State would be the favored team in this game. Stony Brook probably getting a better chance to play their control game if they can keep it scoreless for a while.
I agree with you there, Scott. Stony Brook has settled down quite a bit after the first 10 minutes, and they seem to be possessing the ball quite well right now.
The action has been more in front of Kip Griffin, in front of the Plymouth State goal over the last 3 or 4 minutes. Stony Brook really picking up the tempo a little bit offensively.
And here we have the new throw-in rule we talked about the other night. The player from Stony Brook went too far downfield. The referee blew his whistle, and the throw for Plymouth State.
And this is Kip Griffin controlling the ball and setting up his defense. Caught his defender turning. I don't know if I really like that, if you have to have your defender turning on the ball when you've got offensive players streaking head-on it. He might have been better off to wait for his defender to make the turn on that play. Daniel Kilday had to turn on the ball after the feed had already been made. And another throw-in. The throw-in rule, of course, that Gary mentioned, and you can see there the throw-in was taken right in front of the ball that had just gone out of bounds. The throw-in rule is that the players have to be within 2 yards of the spot where the ball went out.
And Plymouth State's not going to beat 6'6" goalie John Aldack with those high balls. They're going to have to drive the balls similarly to what Charlie Matos just did on the other end in front of Kip Griffin. They need the driven crosses in.
Well, you know, Plymouth State really prides itself, and especially Gerd Lutter, the head coach, they pride themselves on their foot skills, which they work very, very hard on throughout the winter. They have an indoor soccer tournament every year, and they invite a lot of the top Division I programs in the nation to their indoor soccer tournament. And of course, indoor soccer is great for foot skills, and they're going to have to, I think, utilize those foot skills in working the ball around and in placing the ball. And they might be wise to shoot a little bit more at Old Duck's feet. And that one goes out over the end line. We'll have a goal kick. Kip Griffin will set it up. And the Panthers will try for the full field set. Back to midfield to forward. John Roberts feeds the ball long ahead. Forget the full field set, going right for the area on that play. And we have a trip called. And trying to set into the area was now Narodum.
Here's the replay. I believe that's Mike Cole, and that's Kissel marking him. Kissel clearly shields him away from the ball. Obstruction there. Cole couldn't get to the ball. Nice call by the referee. They threw a little curveball at me, Scott. Yesterday, Cole was wearing number 14.
A couple of number changes here today, but I think we've got them all squared away. I think we're getting everybody right. We certainly hope so. Okay, everybody up on the... Oh, and a score, and that went right off of the hands of Olduck. And I'll tell you, I don't know if somebody got a deflection in front. We'll have to take another look at that. That was probably a straight-in goal for Michael Cole, but let's take another look as it went off the hands of Olduck.
And here's the kind of driven ball I was talking about, Scott. This is going to give Olduck a hard time all day. A driven ball, I believe Cole's going to get his head on it, and he does. Goes running the near post. Fantastic finish by Cole.
Looked like two deflections there, Gary. One off of a defender.
Number 21, James Poor, with a great driven ball. Flicked beautifully there, right into the near post. Olduck couldn't react quick enough, right into the near post. That's like you like to see your strikers finish.
Well, it looked like he reacted to the deflection by Cole, but it also looked like a defender got a head on that ball or something on that ball, and it deflected back the other way and went right by the hands of Olduck. So they did get a high ball by him, but it took a double deflection in front to do it. And with 28 minutes to play in the first half, first blood has been scored by Plymouth State, leading 1-0 now.
The Stony Brook players can't let Cole win the header in that kind of situation. He's in only 6 or 7 yards away from the goal. They have to win those balls. They can't let the offensive team win the balls in those dangerous situations.
Okay, now Stony Brook will try to set it up, and every once in a while, Gary, you see a team let down after scoring a goal, but all of a sudden it looks like Plymouth State is very eager to come back downfield. No let up at all. 16:46, the official time of the goal. Michael Cole with the score. And that came off of the setup, the free kick by James Poor. So give Poor an assist.
We're going to see Kip Griffin come off his line here. He realizes this is a dangerous opportunity for Stony, but he comes out and he just punches the ball outside the goalie box. That's a handball. The goalie can use his hands, but once he gets outside that penalty box, he's a regular player. He has to use his feet, his chest, or his thigh. Use his hand there. Gave Stony Brook a free kick right outside the area.
Okay, let's see how they handle it. They set up 3 men, and they get themselves an early look at how Plymouth State plans to take this, and they go indirect, and a shot right on. Oh, a shot right on by Valino. And Kip Griffin did a good job reacting to that ball and getting down on it to keep it from getting in. Well, Stony Brook set it up with 3 men to sort of keep you wondering who was going to take it. Valino took it and got a shot right on goal.
They had their experienced players all around that, Scott. They had Matos and Valino there. They just took their time. They made a nice try out of it.
Well, they faked it once and got a look at how Plymouth State planned on playing it, and then came up with a shot.
And here we see Matos plays the ball square for Valino, comes in, just drives the ball, hits it right through the Plymouth State defender. Griffin can't hold on to it, parries it, gets up quickly and recovers the ball. Nice save there.
Beautiful save by Griffin, reacting as he had his defender going up in front of him. Now we have a push call, and the play will come back the other way for Stony Brook. Well, that was maybe the best scoring opportunity of the game, Gary, even better than the actual goal.
They made the most out of the opportunity there, Scott. When you get a free kick within 20, 25 yards, you want to get a shot on goal, and they got a nice driven shot on goal, which is even better. Unfortunately, they didn't have a striker in there quick enough to follow it. He might have found himself a garbage goal there.
Okay, now Plymouth State trying to regain the momentum that it captured with its goal a few minutes ago. Plymouth State controlling the play down into the Stony Brook end. We have an offside call on that. Again, a very definite offside, as all the Stony Brook defenders were on their way upfield, and the ball was fed back.
Stony Brook is mixing it up a little bit better today, Scott. Yesterday, every time they rolled the ball out to the back. Today, Olduck's punting it once in a while. Next time, he's rolling it out. So it's given Plymouth State a little bit of confusion.
Okay, this is Chris Buckley with the ball now for Plymouth State. The Panthers moving forward. Outside to Narodum. Stops and looks for a move into the area. Can he make one? And again, we have an offside call.
Cole should have let Narodum go there one-on-one, Scott. I saw Narodum play yesterday. He's got some fantastic one-on-one moves. Cole just ran right into his space right there, took his defender in with him. He should have let Narodum go one-on-one and hopefully get a cross-off for Plymouth State.
And again, Plymouth State picks the ball up and charges. Here's Cole putting it in front. Unable to get the ball into the area was poor. But Luongo out to Narodum. Now Narodum back to Cole. Cole looking for the shot. He had an opening for a moment, but it was covered up nicely by 3 Stony Brook defenders. Tom Haluske getting in there along with Chris Valino and ganging up on the ball to take away the angle of the shot a little bit. And again, Stony Brook really unable to get the ball across the midfield stripe. They'll try it now, and the ball kicked out of play. That'll go off of Daniel Kilday, so it'll be a throw-in for Stony Brook. And Stony Brook now is forced back into its own backfield to try to set it up. And here we're seeing a lot of that pressure we talked about that we would probably see from Plymouth State. Now they are applying a lot of it. Very close marking at the moment. This is why Stony Brook is having so much trouble getting the ball down into the other end. Luongo puts it ahead. Valino takes it for Stony Brook on the far side. Taking a look at the shots on goal, we told you territorially it has been pretty even, as it's been now 4-4 on shots. 1-0 the score. 22.5 minutes left to play here in the first half.
Freshman Halaski, they're very highly rated by Coach Jim Felix. Played a lazy ball across the back. Whenever you play a square ball across, you got to make sure it's very accurate and very driven. He played a lazy ball, was slow, and it allowed Plymouth State to come right on the defender and put a lot of pressure on him.
Boy, lazy balls and ball watching, 2 things that get you in probably more trouble than anything else in soccer. Now Stony Brook again, they get the ball into the area, but they're unable to control it when they get down into the Plymouth State side of the field. Well, there you see the MIT players making their way onto the field, or onto the fringe of the field. They'll be playing the second game against the host North Adams State. MIT a loser in yesterday's opening round of the tournament. North Adams State was a winner. Now the way they'll decide a champion, a tournament champion, is if one team should go 2-0, well, that would be your champion. If 2 teams go 2-0, then they'll go to goals scored. The team that scored the most goals in the tournament then would be declared the tournament champion.
Therefore, Plymouth State right now has a clear advantage with scoring 6 goals in the first game against MIT.
Well, North Adams with the win yesterday, a 2-1 win, will come in with 2 goals to its credit. And right now, Plymouth State with 7 goals in the tournament. If Plymouth State were to go on to win this, that means that North Adams would have to make up at least 5 goals in the second game to claim the tournament championship, or to have a chance at claiming the tournament championship. Charlie Matos, one of the seniors that this Stony Brook team relies heavily on. Stony Brook really in kind of a rebuilding year this year. But when they rebuild, they like to rebuild from around their area where they can recruit a lot of good soccer talent. And that ball goes out over the goal line. It will be a corner kick for Stony Brook. Valino will go to the far side for the corner kick. This will be Valino's second attempt at a corner kick. 20 minutes left to play in the first half. 1-0, Plymouth State. A lot of defense setting up in front of Kip Griffin. For Stony Brook, you have Kevin Luby, Dennis McGovern hanging just outside the area, looking for the cut in. Matt Malone up in front. It never gets into him. And overshooting the ball, or going over the ball, is Matos, and it's picked up immediately by the Panthers. Oh, and a pickup at midfield. Talk about a steal. That was Tom Haluski, and now they come back the other way again. Nobody wanted it. Oh, we got to rush in on goal. John Roberts, and he has it cleared away in front of the goal. A nice saving play by Rob Blum. Oh, So Stony Brook looked like they were going to come away with it, and all of a sudden Plymouth State came back as we looked at Rob Blum.
Here's Roberts, the All-American from London, comes in with a good shot, beats the goalkeeper, comes in, and here comes Blum hustling back. He never gave up and just cleared the ball right before it was going in. Great play by Blum. Nice hustle.
Boy, Blum just got back there in the nick of time. That was inches away from the goal line when he cleared it away, and a long shot in by Sean Murphy. And Oldak clears that out with a punt. And again, the pressure being applied by Plymouth State. Narodum goes in on the corner. Blum picks it up, clears it back to Oldak. Boy, 1-0 Plymouth State, and right now John Oldak can thank his back, and it looked like we had a handball, no call. And thank his back, Rob Blum, for making sure it stays 1-0. Okay, here come the Patriots now. Again, the long play down, going away from their control play just a little bit. Matt Malone unable to catch up with the ball, and it's cleared back to Kip Griffin. Well, the wind is picking up, and we're losing our sun shields here. As long as we don't blow away, I guess we'll be all right.
Yeah. I guess that's the thing about being in a valley, Scott. All of a sudden the wind could just come right up.
Okay, and again, Plymouth State now on the attack. Plymouth State has held most of the attack since scoring their goal. Oh, and an opportunity in front. That's Robert Ketchum in the game. Narodum now trying to turn the corner and get it back in front, and Murphy kicks it over the goal, and we'll be back at North Adams State College in just a moment.
When you get the urge for pizza, it's just a step away. It's a pizza.
It's delicious.
It's Italian.
And it's on campus today. It's a pizza.
It's the finest fresh ingredients, mixed until they're right.
It's the very best of toppings, all natural delights.
And there's even free delivery.
When you're studying at night, it's a pizza. So close, you can taste it.
There's a whole lot of winning going on at the winning track.
A lot of winning, yeah, a lot of winning.
At Green Mountain Racetrack, you bet that you want to come back.
A lot of winning, yeah, a lot of winning.
Oh, come on. There's a whole lot of winning going on.
Greyhound racing at Green Mountain. Exotic wagering including double, quinellas, twin trifecta, and the superfecta. Nights at 7:45, matinees at 1:30. Green Mountain, Pownell, Vermont.
Green Mountain Racetrack.
There's a whole lot of winning going on.
Okay, and now setting up the goal kick off the missed shot by Sean Murphy. This is John Oldak. We have just under 17 minutes left to play in the first half. It's 1-0 Plymouth State as Oldak kicks it out to midfield, headed back in for the Panthers. That was Chris Buckley on the header at midfield. To Murphy. Murphy now trying to get it around the official. He's unable to do so. He hits the referee with the ball and loses possession of it. It's taken away by Dennis McGovern.
The referee, like the umpire in baseball, is part of the playing surface.
So the ground rules say if it hits him, it stays in play. Throw in now for Plymouth State. Daniel Kilday throwing it in. Kevin Luby tries to get the ball to Bellino. Bellino loses it, but it goes back to Luby.
Stony Brook made a big mistake right there, Scott. They had all the pressure. All the Plymouth State players are right here. They have a few players wide open on the other side of the field. When you're in pressure, you should get the ball to the other side of the field to get it out of pressure.
Well, I guess that's one of the purposes of pressure, is to keep you from thinking too quickly. Okay, now we'll get a restart on the free kick. Charlie Matos for Stony Brook. Matos puts it up in front, and it's immediately cleared away by Murphy. And here come the Panthers. And again, here come the Patriots. Matos tries to get it across field. He does, but taken away from Kevin Quigley by Chris Wilkins. And the ball goes out of bounds off of Stony Brook. Throw in for Plymouth State. Luongo loses it on the far side, regains possession, works around one defender, tries to get it into the area. Ball goes out to Town, and again it's lost out. It'll be another throw-in for Plymouth State.
His thigh doesn't seem to be bothering him at all, Scott. Here we see number 18, Chris Buckley, coming up. I saw yesterday he has an amazingly long throw-in, Scott. He'll throw it into the far post if need be.
Okay, let's see if they set it up. A lot of guys in front. Luongo up there looking for a header, getting it in close now to Luongo. He takes a shot and scores. Luongo just turned. The target man, the original target man on the play was Michael Cole. He tried to spear into the ball. It went over his head. It dropped behind Luongo. He turned and fired it just wide of John Oldak. So with 14:21 to play in the first half, it's now 2-0 Plymouth State.
Here's the long throw-in by Buckley. He gets the ball driven into the near post. Oldak's a big goalie, so they opted for the driven cross. Cole lets the ball go, goes right to Luongo. He has too much time and space. Once again, he turns right in front of the goalkeeper, Oldak, and finishes well, right on the ground. Nothing Oldak could do. Stony Brook really has to tighten up their defense in the penalty box. The long throw-in by Buckley. Cole's going to let it go. Just misses the header. Luongo gets it and just finishes nicely once again.
Luongo just stayed with that ball very well, missed it off his right foot the first time and turned and got his right foot on it. And just as he fired the shot, he already had Oldak committed. 2-0 Plymouth State. 14 minutes to play in the first half. And Plymouth State again keeping the Stony Brook Patriots from getting in too close to that area. Patriots will try to set it up again. And again, they're unable to pick up their target man. The ball headed away that time by Buckley. And Kip Griffin will play it away. This is Rob Blum now on the near side. As again, Stony Brook being forced by that Plymouth State pressure to set it up from their own backfield. And again, the clear back to Oldak, this time by Kissel. There's the guy who scored the last goal, Tony Luongo. That made it 2-0 Plymouth State.
I'll tell you, Scott, a goal will do wonders for an injury as well.
And on that header, outside, well, the header came inside, but the feet were outside as Scott Eckstein tried to make the play and keep it in bounds. And you're right about that, Gary. He certainly didn't look like he was feeling too much pain when he turned around on that ball and fired it in. Nice line drive shot, low line drive by the keeper. And again, Stony Brook is forced to clear it back to the keeper, Oldak, to set it up from the backfield, as the pressure just continues to be relentless on the part of Plymouth State. Plymouth State really doing a good job of laying their defenders, their backliners back, Gary, and making sure that there is no open ground to run to on the part of Stony Brook.
Well, Stony Brook scored a goal yesterday. North Adams was winning 2-0 with less than 2 minutes left in the game, and they kept pushing up. They wanted that third goal. What happened was goalkeeper Oldak got off a good punt, and it was a 2-on-2 situation. Stony Brook went down and scored. Plymouth State is staying back. They watched the game. They know that might happen, so they're being very safe.
Well, that's exactly what Gerd Lutter said to me before the game. He said, we scouted these guys yesterday. He said, we had a chance to see them up close. We know what we want to do against them. And he was heavy on the pressure when he talked about it. And the pressure has been heavy indeed here in the first half. And that ball goes wide, almost set up. Luongo getting the ball to Michael Cole. And we have substitutions now. And again, you can see the new substitution rule in effect, calling the players off the field. Narodum comes off. Also coming off is Luongo. Going back into the lineup for the Panthers, Daniel Quinlan, number 22, and number 17, Norm Sherwood. They don't have the numbers here, though, Gary. They have to signal to the players they're replacing. But it's the same effect. As you can see, it stops play momentarily while everybody turns and looks and asks, is it me who's coming off? Okay, a pair of 10s on the other side of the field, and the 10 for Plymouth State wins the play. Sean Murphy getting the ball into John Roberts. Roberts tries to find some room down the far side, cuts back in, and he's picked up by the defense, but the foul is called. John Roberts, just a junior out of London, England, a big skill man for Girdler. He'll be back next year, and going up for the header and missing is Michael Cole. Michael Cole, number 6.
He's impressed me quite a bit, Scott. Yesterday he scored a brilliant goal on a cross. It was coming in the air. He hit it first time. He volleyed it right into the net. Today he scored a beautiful goal. Coach Lutter told me that he's still trying to adapt to the college level. He's only a freshman. He's getting used to defenders being right in his back, which he didn't have too much in high school.
Well, freshman out of Springfield, Vermont. And this only his second college game. And again, nothing doing. And again, a break for Plymouth State. Daniel Quinlan and a takedown, or the ball taken down and cleared by John Oldak. But again, that pressure is just all over the place.
Stony Brook tries to play some nice soccer, Scott, some nice possession soccer, but sometimes you just can't do that, and it's getting them into a lot of trouble. Yesterday they lost the game because they tried to bring the ball out of the back all the time, and today they keep losing the ball in the back as well. And here's Quinlan again. He breaks away, steals the ball from the back, comes in, gets a nice shot, and there's Oldak again making another nice save.
Well, that was a nice diving save by Oldak. He looked like he was moving the wrong way, and all of a sudden it was like a clothesline wrapped him back in the other direction. Okay, we'll get a throw in now for Plymouth State. Number 17 on your screen, Norm Sherwood taking the throw in. Sherwood, a junior midfielder out of Marblehead, Massachusetts.
Beautiful Marblehead, Massachusetts.
Beautiful Marblehead. One of the funniest lines I ever heard in all of sports. I was at a Boston Bruins Philadelphia Flyers hockey game one time, and you know, you can't beat those Boston fans for wit and wisdom, Gary. During the pregame warm-ups, a Boston fan was hanging over the boards and yelled at Bobby Clark of the Flyers, "Hey, Clark, we got a town up here named after you, Marblehead." You know, only with the Boston accent does it really have that effect, the full effect. Okay, a long throw in now. Plymouth State looking for another goal off the head of Roberts. We have the offside call, or a push call, and we'll have a goal kick for Stony Brook. We're running down towards 7.5 minutes left to play here in the first half. 2-0, Plymouth State. And again, Plymouth State not allowing Stony Brook any territory on their end of the field. Town clears the ball ahead down the far side. Looking for some action, and coming out, Oldak came out. Oh, what a play by Oldak, as he had Robert Ketchum just storming in, and Oldak really might have made a dangerous play there, Gary.
Here's Ketchum streaming in, and we're going to see Oldak come out of the corner of the screen. He thinks Ketchum's in a dangerous place, which he is. Comes out, makes a nice sliding save, almost a handball. Gets back up, he had it right in the line, no handball. Got up and kicked the ball out of bounds. Very smart play by Oldak. You can tell he's a junior, he's experienced. He didn't try and play the ball upfield like we saw the other night in the BC game.
Goalie saves in the game. Oldak was 6. 3 the other way for Griffin, and that gives you an idea more than anything else of the territorial advantage that Plymouth State has had. Now Plymouth State going off the corner kick, and a shot by Town. Oh, that was a nice play. Letting a ball go through was Chris Wilkin. Town took the shot. Now here they come again. This is Sean Murphy trying to get it in front. And a headshot, oh, off the post. Oh, Michael Cole hit one off the crossbar. That one had Oldak beaten, but just hit the crossbar. Michael Cole with a header. And again, the ball cleared down into the Plymouth State territory, but again, the advantage held by Plymouth State.
Sean Murphy, the senior from Billerica, Mass, eludes a defender, comes and saves the ball brilliantly, gets a nice cross in, and there's a great header. A hand on it by Oldak would have saved it from going in, cleared away by the defenders. Nice save there by Oldak.
Oldak did get a hand on it, and it hit right off the post, low off of the crossbar behind him.
And once again, it was that man, Michael Cole.
Boy, a bullet dodged there by Oldak, though. And Oldak now covers up as he has a couple of Panthers really storming in on him. Daniel Quinlan in on him, Ketchum in on him. And he punts the ball out to midfield, and again, Plymouth State not allowing Stony Brook to get into that end of the field. Oh, nice piece of foot skill there, but the ball is kicked out of bounds. Just overshooting his man was Sherwood. The ball went behind Quinlan. It'll be a throw-in for Stony Brook. We have 5 minutes to play in the first half. 2-0 Plymouth State. And as Plymouth State puts up the goals, it gives North Adams State something to think about. Not only would they have to win the second game today to win the tournament, but at this point they would have to score 6 goals. Oh, takedown in front, and that almost set up a beautiful opportunity for Plymouth State. Look at Sean Murphy, relentless on the ball. Murphy was all over Tom Heluske. And again, another opportunity. And again, Cole, but he shoots it wide. Boy, the pressure absolutely relentless. Since the first goal was scored by Plymouth State, they have refused to let up. Number 6 on your screen is Michael Cole. North Adams State College, the North Adams State Athletic Complex. And I say beautiful North Adams, Massachusetts. As we look across the field, it's just some gorgeous green mountains. This field just tucked right away in the hills of northwestern Massachusetts. Just an absolutely gorgeous setting for a Sunday afternoon of soccer.
Next year, though, Scott, we'll have to tell them to have it about the tournament about 1 month later so we can enjoy the lovely...
Look at the foliage, sure. I'll tell you, we would not see better foliage than we'd see here. And again, Plymouth State jumps on the attack. Stony Brook just doing everything they can to keep Plymouth State away from their own goal. They haven't been successful at all in the last 10 minutes of getting the ball over the mid-court line, and another shot moving in on the ball was Quinlan. He shoots it wide. But every time downfield now, Gary, it looks like Plymouth State is getting somebody open for a shot. Daniel Quinlan out of Gorham, Maine. Quinlan really one of the few seniors on this squad. A lot of people will be coming back next year. An experienced but young squad for Plymouth State. Boy, I'll bet in about 2 weeks, maybe even next week, the way the summer has gone and being up as far as they are in New Hampshire, by the time North Adams State gets up to play Plymouth State next year in mid-New Hampshire, or next week in mid-New Hampshire, they might have some great foliage up there. Maybe we can go up and do that game. This is town for Plymouth State. To Roberts, back to town on the give and go. We're under 3 minutes to play in the first half. Just setting it up across the back line now. The ball has been in the Plymouth State end here, but it's been completely controlled by Plymouth State. And Oldak thought for a moment about going with the hands, but realized he was outside the area, so kicked the ball away. He was really up high out of the area, Gary.
I think he's a little frustrated, Scott. He's given up 2 goals today. He wants to be more of a factor in the match. Came off his line and just cleared the ball long.
I don't think that a 2-0 score really at this point completely dramatizes the actual territorial advantage that Plymouth State has had in play over the last 15 to 20 minutes. As again, you can see that Stony Brook is being forced to set it up back in their own end of the field as they have absolutely no luck gaining control down in the Plymouth State end. And again, Plymouth State, Ketchum now trying to move it into the area. And the ball goes out off of, well, it looked like it was Ketchum, but the official on the far side, Tony Romano, had a very close look at it. And he said it went off the defender. Gideon Burrion now in the lineup for Stony Brook. So it'll be a corner kick now. Another scoring opportunity with 1.5 minutes left. Plymouth State setting it up. And the ball headed away from trouble. That was Blum, I believe, on the header. Check that. That was Matt Malone on the header, getting the ball out of the area. But again, here comes Malone. No. Michael Cole again trying to work something up, and again we'll have a corner kick. This time it'll be Cole going to the corner to take it. Short kick to Murphy. Murphy into the area, puts the ball up over the net. and we're under a minute to play. So that will probably be the final scoring opportunity of the first half. Oldak will probably take his time in setting up this goal kick. Be happy to get out of the half down just 2-0. It could be worse with the territorial advantage that Plymouth State has maintained here in the first half. Oldak takes it down. They'll punt it out. We've got less than a minute to play now in the first half. John Roberts will go right on the attack again. Plymouth State will look for something quickly. Murphy puts the ball ahead. Sherwood unable to control the ball. Now he does, but it's taken away, and that'll run out the clock in the first half. We have less than 10 seconds to play. So the first half will come to an end. The scoring in the first half, 2-0. Plymouth State leading Stony Brook. And Gary, in the first half, I'd have to say that Plymouth State really, after a little bit of thrust and parry early, the two teams sort of feeling each other out, Plymouth State really did take over a territorial and play advantage as the half wore on.
Stony Brook just cannot handle Plymouth State's high pressure, Scott. They keep getting themselves into trouble by trying to bring the ball out of the back. The goalkeeper's throwing the ball to the outside backs. Plymouth State's just putting extreme pressure on, and Stony Brook's not even able to get the ball past midfield.
Okay, so Plymouth State really is making a bid to go 2-0 in this United Way Fall Classic, and also making a bid to put the pressure on North Adams on the goal count. We're at halftime, and it's Plymouth State 2, Stony Brook 0. We'll have a look at the first half highlights and some of the statistics after these messages.
North Adams State College in the Berkshire Hills of Western Massachusetts is a fully accredited college offering strong liberal arts and professional degree programs. It offers the 2,100 students close contact with the faculty, a wide range of varsity and intramural sports, and exciting extracurricular activities.
The Clydesdales, the symbol of Budweiser quality. A Beechwood aging, the choicest natural ingredients, and a genuine commitment to freshness and taste. One beer lives up to all this. Budweiser.
Giving, it says you care, doesn't it?
It's the feeling in your heart on the best day of your life.
It means that somewhere someone's life is better.
Because of you.
You know what your dad used to say.
If we don't give, who will?
The nicest thing about giving
Isn't what it does.
for others, it's what it does
For you.
the United Way.
Thanks to you,
it works for all of us.
The preceding message was sponsored by the North Adams State College Intramural Department. This year marks the 11th annual Sam Gomez Classic Road Race, sponsored by the North Adams State College Student Government Association to benefit the United Way. The race will take place on Sunday, October 30th at 11 a.m. at North Adams State College. There's a registration fee of $5 before race day and a fee of $6 on race day. To obtain a registration form, write to the Student Government Association, North Adams State College, North Adams, Mass. 01247, or call area code 413-664-4511, extension 401, between the hours of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Well, Gary, taking a look at some highlights in the first half with Plymouth State up 2-0. I guess the first couple of highlights you could take a look at are the two goals. Michael Cole scoring off a feed from Steve Poore at 16:46.
And here's the cross by Poore. Nice driven cross. Cole just flicks it right into the near post. Aldak was caught out of position there. He thought the cross was going to go further, but it was a nice driven ball by Poore to the near post, and a nice flick-in header by Cole.
And Antonio Longo, the guy playing with the bad right or bad left calf, came in at 31-39 to make it 2-0.
And here's the long throw in by Buckley, and he can throw it a ways. This time he opted to throw it to the near post, the driven one. He knows the goalkeeper's tall, 6'6", Aldak, so he drives it to the near post for Cole. Cole just lets it go, though, or misses the head flick here. And here comes Antonio Longo, all alone right here. Turns on Kissel right there, or Matos, excuse me, and finishes as well. Couldn't tell he was injured on that play, Scott.
No, a very nice play by Luongo. It's not like Stony Brook was without its chances in the first half. The scoring, 2-0 in the first half in favor of Plymouth State, but Stony Brook did have an opportunity late in the first half.
And here it is off a free kick. Matos plays the ball square to Valino. Valino strikes the ball extremely hard, and Kip Griffin comes up with a big save right here and was able to smother the ball.
Just a terrific reflex by Griffin to keep the thing from getting into the goal. Now, taking a look at the first half stats for Stony Brook, again, you can see the score 2-0, but for Stony Brook, 5 shots on goal. Plymouth State with a territorial advantage, 11 shots on goal. Goalie saves for Stony Brook, 6. For Plymouth State, 3. The corner kicks are even at 3. Fouls, 5 for Stony Brook, 7 for Plymouth State. And our score at halftime, 2-0 Plymouth State. We'll be back with the second half right after this.